Let's make some noise. Come on.
Yes. Thank you again very much, Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. And what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the final word. It is me, MattyB, here on the Instagram Sports Network on our daily show. And it's great to be back tonight. And what a great night last night it was for American baseball as the United States punched their ticket back to the WBC championship as they will face the winner of tonight's contest between Italy and Venezuela. And right now, I think it's 2-0 Italy as Aaron Nola continues to deal in this tournament. But of course, the big news, the big story from last night was a gem of a game, instant classic. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more from this game, but you had the DR, Dominican Republic, and probably the best offensive lineup in this tournament, or this tournament's ever seen, going against one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the world right now, in Paul Skeens, and it did not disappoint. Skeens lasted 71 pitches, 4 innings, I believe it was his line, 4 and change. A masterful job in DeRosa in managing yesterday as he was able to maneuver through some minefields, made a very questionable decision on whether to take Skeens out and who he replaced him with. Offensively, all the runs in this game actually were scored via the home run. And then, well, we had ourselves some controversy. And yes, the umpires played a huge role in that, as 2 questionable calls, one in the 8th inning and one to end the game, were the dominant headline in this game. And it's a shame because it was a great game. And as the show title indicates tonight, it is the human element. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because what happened last night, and again, it's a shame that I'm not going to spend much time talking about what went down in this baseball game and how truly amazing it was, and the essence of baseball. All you WBC doubters out there, all you WBC haters, all you, I don't want my guys playing in games in the spring because I don't want them to get hurt. All you people out there, I'm sorry, because you're missing a hell of a tournament. You really are. And you're not able to enjoy it in its fullest. It's been great. Tomorrow night, of course, we'll get it all wrapped up as USA will await the winner of this one. But it's going to be a shame that we're going to spend most of our time tonight discussing once again how the art of umpiring, especially calling balls and strikes, is one of the more misinformed and one of the most taken for granted abilities on the face of the earth. And we're going to get into what a strike is. And we're going to get in with the impact of ABS. And we're going to get into that stupid-ass box that, of course, continues to plague my life. Because that box is really creating a lot of problems. And it has. That box, that damn, whatever show graphic they call it, a stat tracker or whatever the hell it is, has really hurt baseball. And I know ABS is going to usher in the end of the box era, but it can't get here any faster, if you ask me. So we're going to definitely talk about what happened last night. The Eagles, Dallas Goedert, yeah, we can continue going down that road. Beat on that dead horse if you like. It's up to you. It's your dime. I'll talk about it. The Flyers are heading out west. Big series with the Western powerhouses this week. LA, Anaheim, and San Jose. We'll give you an update on the future of Clear the Ice as well tonight, as we have entered into the week-by-week phase of the program. So we'll touch that. We'll get into our day in Philadelphia sports history. Our card of the night will return, as well as our of the night segment. So all that stuff we'll be jumping into. So I'm glad you're here. Let's strap on for the ride and let's have some fun. MattyB, what's up? Let's go, Super Bowl MVP. Yes. I can't start a show without him, man. I cannot start a show without my ride or die, Nick Foles. He is a fixture on this program, and he gets the crowd going. He gets me going every single night. So, Joe, what's up, my man? What did I think of the calls being an umpire? We're going to get into that. Trust me, I'm going to spend a lot of tonight talking about that because I found it very funny and very sad and very ironic and very true all at the same time. But Adam, we'll get into those calls here tonight. But let's get it going with our day in Philadelphia sports history. So let's strap in, strap on, strap up, keep your head, hands, feet inside the car at all times. And here we go. On this day, March 16th, day before St. Patrick's Day, for all you who celebrate. In the year 2000, Bobby Clark, commenting on his favorite topic, Eric Lindros, had arguably his biggest media blow-up as GM of the Flyers, with rumors swirling about the mishandling of Lindros' latest concussion after a March 4th game at Boston. Clark took exception and went on the offensive during an impromptu televised mid-game interview. I quote, "Don't just make stuff up and put it in the paper," barked Clark towards a Philadelphia Inquirer beat writer. "You just make all this stuff up and write it in as truth. Talk to Eric, talk to the trainers." End of quote. When the writer insisted Clark wouldn't let him talk to the trainers, the off-candid Clark uttered a live TV no-no. And I quote, "Sure I do. They just won't talk to you because you're an asshole." End of quote. And obviously, I do remember the ending of Eric Lindros' time in Philadelphia was, mired with all that, the concussion stuff, dealing with Eric's father, the agent, all that stuff, and Bobby Clark. That was sort of toward the end of his time as GM. You definitely knew things were ending for both, and I do remember that incident. And with all we look back on Eric Lindros' time as a Flyer, and he is one of the greatest ever played for us. But boy, he had a tumultuous career here, and it obviously was one of the more rocky endings to any player, to play here, and the situation surrounding the player, the GM, and the player's dad, who was the agent. So, yeah, it was just it was a mess there at the end between Clark and Lindros, and then Clark and the media, and then ultimately Clark and the job. Just really sort of a beginning of an end of an era of Flyers hockey. They were going to change things completely very soon. So Bobby Clark goes off on the media on this day back in the year 2000, and that was your day in Philadelphia sports history. And that was brought to you by the fine folks here over at the It's a Wrap Sports Network, creators and purveyors of such programming as the Fighting's Final, back for its 5th season. We are coming back for season number 5. And it all will kick off on Sunday, March 22nd, this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. for the Phillies 2026 season preview show. We do this every year. We kick off a season with a preview show. We get into the season. We join you guys at the All-Star break and do a mid-season check-in, finish that up, do the playoffs, and then wrap it all up with a review show. But yeah, let's set the clock back, or let's set the clock forward again, because we're getting ready to kick this thing off with the preview show as the Fighting's Final will return for season number 5. And keep in mind, in all the years we've done this show, the Phillies have never missed the playoffs. That's right. We are 4 for 4. The Fighting's Final and the Phillies making the playoffs. So let's hope the good luck continues. But on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 5 p.m., be here, be square to check out the program. On this day, Kyle Schwarber signed with the Phillies. Yeah, that's not history, man. That ain't sports history. That ain't Philadelphia sports history. That's just something, man. Cares, man. Lindros and the Flyers went up against the Red Wings in the finals, and they were damn good. Yeah, but I don't know. Are you talking about Lindros and the Flyers were damn good, or the Red Wings were damn good? Because Red Wings were another level then. That was a terrible series, man. That series was over game 1. I remember that. And that was a great season for the Flyers. I really thought that was the best Flyer team that they've had probably since the Cup years, and that group of players. And I really thought heading in, and obviously with what Detroit was then, with all the Russian players, Fedorovs, Larionovs, whatever off that they had there. They were great. They were an amazing team. They were a different level, a different stratosphere of hockey team. But I thought the Flyers were going to give them a run for their money, and I knew after game one at the what is it, Wells Fargo, or Core State back in the day. I knew it was over. I knew that series was over. Now, I did not predict a sweep. I didn't think the Flyers would get swept, but I knew they were going to win that series after game one. The Flyers were given everything they had, and Detroit just countered easily. And then when Detroit wanted to, they just pulled ahead in that game, and that was it. So I was really scared after game one. Yeah. 2010 should have won too. I don't know, man. Yeah, that was a good team. But I just thought that 96, 97 group was just so damn complete. The one knock on all these teams, the 10 team, the 96, 97, the 84, 85, the 87, 80, or 86, 87, all those teams that made it to the finals and couldn't finish the deal. What's the common thread of all those teams? Goaltending, right? We didn't really, I mean, with the exception of Hextall and Pelly, which was the first year that they got an opportunity at Gretzky and the Oilers. Everything else is kind of boiled down to lack of goaltending. And that's the common thread that continues to plague this team into the 2026-27 season. So, but yeah. All right. So yeah, there you go. So that is your day of Flyer or Philly history. The Flyers, Eric Lindros, Bobby Clark, and all the spectacle that was. All right, so let's get back to the story of the night. The human element is what I want to talk about. But before I get into the human element, I want to paint a picture. And what happened last night against USA in the DR is a snapshot of my life. And I'm glad all of you can join me for this walk through my life, because this is what it's like, man. This is what it's like on a daily basis for anybody who has the courage, the intestinal fortitude, the stones to actually strap a mask on and hop behind a plate and call balls and strikes for a living. It's not easy. And this outrage about the low strikes and it's out of the zone, it's low, it's 100% low. And then Jeff Passan coming out, and Jeff Passan is in no position to speak about what's happening behind home plate. None. Mason Miller, Whitlock, Perdomo, Soto, none of them are in a position to talk about what's happening behind home plate. The only person, the best view in the house is the home plate umpire. He's got the best view in the house, especially if he's in the right position behind the plate. He's in the slot. He's where he needs to be. He's got the best position in the house. Now, what the backlash of, and we're going to run both these pitches because I want you to see what I'm trying to talk about. The first thing we got to discuss is, what is a strike? What is the book definition of a strike in baseball? That is the first thing we have to work out. And so I pulled from 3 different rule books: NCAA, Federation, which is the high school rule book, and OBR, which is the major league rule book. So the 3 major rule books that we use in this country to adjudicate baseball: NCAA, OBR, and the Federation rule book. And I pulled up and I searched what a strike was in all of those rule books. And I'm going to read you what a strike is. And by definition, by the rule book, let's start with the NCAA. The NCAA is a legal pitch that is swung at and missed, a pitch that enters the strike zone without being swung at, or a foul ball not caught on the fly with fewer or 2 strikes. That is the definition in the NCAA baseball rulebook of a strike. A legal pitch that is swung at and missed, a pitch that enters the strike zone without being swung at, or a foul ball not caught on the fly. Let's talk about OBR. All right, this is the major league rulebook. A pitch that enters the strike zone over home plate between the batter's shoulders and knee bottoms, is struck at and missed, is a foul ball not caught with less than 2 strikes, or is a foul tip. Let's read that again. This is the definition of a strike in the OBR, Official Major League Rules Rulebook, or OBR stands for Official Baseball Rules. A pitch that enters the strike zone over home plate between the batter's shoulders and knee bottoms, is struck at and missed, a foul ball not caught with less than 2 strikes or as a foul tip. That's the OBR. Now let's talk federation, which is the high school rule book. Where is it at? A strike is a pitch enters any part of the strike zone in flight and is not struck at. A pitch is struck at and missed. A pitch becomes a foul ball. A pitch becomes a foul tip. Or in a delay situation where you can award a strike for the delay. So let's read that again. A pitch enters any part of the strike zone in flight and is not struck at. A pitch is struck at and missed. A pitch becomes foul, not caught, and then a foul tip. That is what OBR, or that's what federation defines as a strike. It's very important that we define that, because I read 3 different rules from 3 different rule books that are pretty much the same thing. The one thing that I didn't read, the one thing that I did not mention at all in any of those definitions, in any of those rule books, is where the ball is caught by the catcher. Where the ball is caught by the catcher is immaterial to the adjudication of a ball or a strike. It has everything, or I should say a strike in this case, has nothing to do where the ball is caught. Nothing. And that's why this box, this spot tracker, where they're putting little baseballs up, I'm not going to deny and say that both of these pitches, and maybe not so much the Soto pitch, but the Perdomo pitch was definitely caught below the strike zone. But both of those balls entered the strike zone. So by definition, those are strikes. 100%, the umpire did the right thing. And then we're gonna run each one of these pitches, and we're going to take a look at the mechanic. We're going to take a look at the ball. Now, I know a lot of people are up in arms because they don't know what they're talking about. A lot of people are ignorant to the ball and strike concept. They're slaves to that stupid ass box. They're slaves to those graphics. They see a ball caught below the zone or above the zone or outside the zone or inside the zone, and they automatically say, that's a goddamn ball. It's not. If the ball touches any part of the strike zone while in flight, it is a strike. It is not struck or is not struck. It is a strike. And that's what's getting people all twisted. Now, is it a shame that the game was ended on both those or that play in the 8th and then obviously the game ending play? Is it a shame that a classic game like that was ended on a play like that? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not the pitcher's fault. That's not the umpire's fault. That's the batter's fault. So the mechanic of batting and hitting, and I don't mean to make anybody feel stupid about this or try to make anybody feel stupid about this, but when you're in a situation, in both those situations, both Soto and Perdomo, both late in the game on the line, runners in scoring position, 2 strike counts, when you're in a position, one of the things you'll hear at the lowest level of baseball, maybe these guys, because they played baseball in Latin America, didn't go through this, but in America, I can attest to this because I hear it all the time at all levels, from Little League up to Division I. I hear it all the time in this situation. Runners on, 2 strikes, or actually I hear it at the real lower levels anytime there's 2 strikes. But higher levels, you'll hear it specifically with runners on and a 2-strike count. You'll hear a voice from beyond, coming from the dugout or coming up from the third base batter's box. Protect, kid. Come on, kid, protect. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means I'm in a position as a batter where I have 2 strikes. Anything close to that plate, I cannot let go by. I have to foul off. I got to throw a bat on it. I got to do something to keep this damn count alive or this bat alive until I get an opportunity, hopefully, when the pitcher screws up, it gives me something over the plate. So I got to get closer to the plate, got to choke up, got to lean in, I got to do something. And I got to protect. I got to defensively hit in order to keep my bat going. What I don't want to do is what happened last night in the DR game. And Soto's bitching about it. What was friggin' Pujols was bitching about it. You know, I don't care. Where's the blame on the batters, man? They never got the damn bat off their shoulders. In both situations late in the game where you knew he's not going to give you anything to hit, Miller was going to keep it down all the way. Anybody could tell Miller was throwing down, especially at the end of the game. And Whitlock was going to go. No one's going to give you anything up in the zone. It's going to be down. If being a Phillies fan has taught us one thing, with 2 strikes, they never get anything to hit at. And because we bitch about it all the time, that they're swinging at the damn ground. So you got to be aware of that. Get the bat off your shoulder, Juan Soto, one of the allegedly best hitters in the game. Get your bat off the shoulder, Perdomo. Keep your team in this thing. So all this hate towards the pitchers and all this hate towards the umpire because of this situation. Hey, man, what about the batters? Do your job, kid. You know, swing the bat, foul it off, keep the bat going. This is a crucial point in the game, both those situations. So I don't want to hear it. Both those pitchers were strikes. And to prove that even more, let's go to the videotape. All right, because I want to show both of these pitches, and I want you to look at them. Remember what we talked about when it came to the definition of a strike. Any part of the ball that passes through the strike zone. Not where it's caught, not where it might land at the end, but when it passes the strike zone. And here we go. But before I do that, I'm going to show you a little picture. All right, this is the Perdomo pitch. This is the pitch that ended the game, right? From a side view. What do you see here? I see a strike. See that front knee? See where the ball is passing right underneath the small of the kneecap? And you see where the ball is passing right below his kneecap? That's a strike. It's an absolute strike. That ball is not in question of being low. That ball is not 20 feet below the ground, rubbing off the dirt. No, man, that's in the zone. It's in the lower part of the zone. It's an amazing call by that umpire because I've been in those situations before. And yes, part of me doesn't want to end the game like that, but a strike is a strike. Swing the bat, kid. Let's go. Help me out, man. Take the game away from me and swing the goddamn bat. So I just wanted to show you that little piece of video or little picture before we go to the video. Because let's go to the videotape now. First we're going to look at is the Juan Soto play. All right. We're going to look at Juan Soto. And this was the play in the 8th inning. This was against Whitlock. And let's take a look at that. Let's bring it up. And here we go. You guys see that? All right, so let's set it up. Obviously, it's 1-2, bottom of the 8th inning. Juan Soto versus Whitlock. And let's roll it. All right. So we're going to slow it down. Now I want to stop it right there. So Juan Soto is an interesting case study here because as an umpire, I would hate to deal with him because what Juan Soto does is he actively tries to deceive the umpire by that really crouched batting stance. He tries to eliminate the strike zone by making it confusing, by making his knees go really low. And that's what he tries to do. He tries to eliminate and tries to confuse the strike zone. I hate his style. It's amazing how he does it, and it's a great tool. And I'm sure I haven't really watched that much Juan Soto, but I'm sure it really confuddles umpires because it does confuse me when I see him. All right. That crouch down, and he stays down. He stays down to the very end, and then he'll explode out. But that going low like that really is tough on an umpire to kind of get a good gauge on the strike zone. But let's take a look at the pitch. Let's stop it right there. Well, let's back it up. I missed that. Let's back it up just a tad. All right, let's go. Did I get it? All right, let's stop it right there. What do you see? Now I'm going to use your little box. I'm going to use your best friend, the box here. That ball's a strike. That ball's in the zone right now. So by definition, it's a strike. If he swings and misses, which he doesn't, or if he just lets that thing go, that's a strike. By the definition, not a strike by a little, not a strike by a lot, but that's in the zone. Just about the entire ball is touching the strike zone. So again, I don't understand the uppityness about this. And then let's finish it up. And then it falls in like that. That is a strike. It's a great call. It's an amazing call. Juan Soto's a little bitch. Get your ass back to the dugout. It's a strike. All right. Great call. Great call by the umpire. Now, the pitch that we're going to look at, which is the real bad one, which is that got everybody up in air. It's a little bit different. All right. It's a lot. It ends up lower, and I can understand people's frustration. But let's bring that one up. So this is the big one, right? This is the pitch that ended the game for the DR, right? This was the pitch. This is the Mason Miller pitch, who, by the way, man, Mason Miller is a good pitcher, dude. I would love last year. So we've been, obviously the Phillies have been rumored around Mason Miller, and there's, I don't know the validity of these rumors over the years, but the Phillies acquiring Mason Miller back when he was an A. But the deal was made last summer, and the Padres pulled the trigger, and they sent this insane package to the A's. It was like 5 prospects, to include Louis DeVeers, who at that time was the number 3 prospect in all of baseball. Right, that was the kind of package it was going to take to get a Mason Miller. Watching him last night, 102, 101, and then watching what this last pitch was, where he strikes out Perdomo. I would make that trade. Mason Miller, or not Mason Miller, Aiden Miller, Crawford, Painter. See ya. I take Mason Miller in a heartbeat, man. This kid's got some amazing stuff. This kid's good. It's really good, and it's really fun watching him work for a team that I'm invested in. So hats off to Mason Miller. But let's bring this thing up, because this is the one that's got everybody all pissed off. So let's set this up. This, of course, is Perdomo, bottom of the 9th. Runner on was at third. The tying run is 90 feet away. We got a full count. This is about as tense as it can be without it being bases loaded, right? This is bottom of the 9th. 2 outs, 3-2 count, runner on third. The tying run on third. Now, this was a long, was it about an 8-9 pitch at bat at this point? Miller was kind of all over the place at times during this at bat. But this is the pitch that's going to get everybody pissy. So let's follow it through here. Let's stop it right there. What does that look like to you? Is that ball a strike right there? By definition, by the definition that I read in 3 separate rule books, is that a strike? That is 100% a strike. Without using the pretty box, let's take a look at the ball. There's the plate. There's the ball. The ball is over the plate. Let's draw a line straight forward. The ball's up by the thighs. It's in the strike zone. That ball is smack dab. That's like the prettiest down the middle pitch that you could actually throw. If Perdomo wasn't so fooled by the pitch, he should have swung. If he would have swung, he probably would have laced that thing down the line and maybe got a double out of it. But he sat back on it and he let it work its magic, and then it goes through the zone. But there you go. It's caught right down there. Now, you see a little baseball? This is why this box has really ruined the game. It's a strike. It is a strike. So ABS, and then, of course, we'll never know what ABS would say about this. This is not a the World Baseball Classic is governed by like the World Baseball Federation. It's not governed by MLB. They're partnered with MLB, but they're not governed by them. They don't have ABS. Now, will they get ABS for the next tournament? Yeah, probably. But I would be very, very interested to see what ABS would say, because ABS is using the same formula from the rule book. The ball has to touch the strike zone. It doesn't have to be caught in the strike zone. It has to touch the strike zone. So all this venom towards Mason Miller, or not Mason Miller, but the umpires, I love this. I love the vindication of this, because this shows you how tough this job is. And they did an absolute perfect job by calling a great game. And it's a shame that game will be spoiled by those 2 calls, by being bad calls. But the Jeff Passans don't know what they're talking about in the world. All the other Pat McAfee's in the world, these guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. That was a strike. 100%. I applaud the call. I would make the call. Now, again, as I said, is it a shame that the game ended on a call like that? Yeah. But whose fault is that? It's Perdomo's fault. Soto's fault. It's not the umpire's fault. They did their job. They did their job. I have Lindros jersey too. But yeah, I'll check in. Classic Nola, 4th inning up. Is it really? Was it second time through the lineup, right? He's got that problem. What I don't get is when the catchers move their gloves up after the pitch hits their glove. Well, that's called framing, and it happens all the time. Now, there's some catchers out there that are really good at it, but most catchers are pretty obvious about it. And you can frame all day you want, brother. Because again, what is framing? Framing is trying to present the illusion that the ball landed in the strike zone. But we don't have to see that. We don't have to see the ball land in the strike zone. But it's a tool that they use. Some of them are really good at it. Most are not. Most is pretty obvious. Most is like this, catch, and they go like that. I'm like, come on, man. And you can hold it up there all day long, dude. I ain't gonna call it a strike. You can do that all day long, brother. But some of them are really good at it. Really good. Major league level good. But I haven't really run into that problem. Most of the catchers I deal with are pretty bad at framing, or for amateuristic at it at the best. So 2-1, baby. Team USA with the win. Again, Paul Skeens. Bryce Harper had a double last night. Most productive he's been in the entire tournament. Aaron friggin' Judge, another player. I mean, come on, man. This is the second time he's done this in the tournament, throwing somebody out, going from second to third. And I don't even, there's not even close. Judge is gunning people down with his arm. I mean, on the dead fly. It's amazing baseball to watch. It's amazing to see it. It's amazing to witness it. And it still boggles my mind that there's people out there that didn't want this. That are I don't want people getting hurt. Well, I'm sorry, man. You got to break a couple eggs to get an omelet, brother. I mean, if it takes, I don't want to see anybody get hurt either. But what I've watched over the last, I guess going on 2 weeks now, I've totally unplugged from the spring training. I don't know what's going on. I listened to a little bit of the Phillies game today, but I don't care. I am totally unplugged from spring training. I am totally plugged into this World Baseball Classic. It's been amazing. And I know with the CBA expiring, there's going to be we don't know when the next one is. The next one's not even scheduled because of the CBA. So I guess they'll work all that out, but give me more, man. I can't wait for the 28 winter summer games. Hopefully MLB will participate in that. God, give me more of this. I love it. Absolutely love it. 2-1 is your win. And the Phillies and Team USA is moving on into the championship round. So there you go. There's my rant over the strike zone. There's my rant over you want to be truthers out there trying to use technology to judge something that only human eyes can really see. And ABS, will ABS help Major League Baseball? I don't know. I really don't. One, it's another thing for managers to have to worry about, right? You got 2 challenges. You keep getting the challenges right, you retain your challenge. As soon as you get a challenge wrong, you lose it. And then if you lose that second one, you're out of challenges. And they're not able to challenge. It's only the pitcher, the catcher, and the batter. The only 3 people out there that can challenge. And you're dealing with Major League Baseball players, $1 million athletes. Are they going to listen to somebody say, hey, is Bryce Harper going to listen to Rob Thompson when he tells him, I don't want you challenging? You got to listen for me to yell it from the dugout or something before you challenge something. Is Zach Wheeler going to listen to Rob Thompson about challenging? Is JT Realmuto going to listen to Rob Thompson about when to use a challenge? In theory, yeah, they will, but it's going to be interesting how much drama that's going to cause. Now, as far as the actual system, I am all about getting the call right, 100%. But what I think this system is also going to reveal is how good the umpires really are. Are they going to have their fair share of calls overturned? 100%. But are you as a fan, a casual baseball fan, going to be sitting there watching a baseball go across the plate and go, that's a ball? Oh my God, he called it a strike. Are you kidding me? And then the batter's going to tap his head. They're going to review it, and they're going to find out that it was upheld and it was a strike. Is it going to chase people away from the game who thought they knew what they were doing? These armchair umpires, is it going to really hurt you? I mean, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But last night, in all that drama, with all those calls, that's baseball. And that's baseball in its purest form. And I don't know what ABS is going to turn baseball into. I really don't. And you know, the more and more I think about it, if you're going to really try to make things great or try to take away, and I shouldn't say take away the human element, but like make it as fail-safe as you possibly can, how about ABS only in the playoffs? You know, maybe that's better. But last night, when you have a game like that, calls like that, drama like that, pissed off Dominican Republican people like that, that's baseball in its purest form. That's the thrill of victory and the agony of friggin' defeat. And I fear ABS is going to screw with that. And I don't like that. But let's give it a shot. Let's give it a whirl. Let's see how it is. And hopefully, as I said, that when I watch this game tomorrow night between the U.S. and whoever wins this game, that's the last time I see any kind of box drawn over home plate. That has ruined this game. It has ruined it. That box has ruined baseball. It's terrible. 2. Each team has 2 challenges. But if you get a challenge right, you retain the challenge until you get them all wrong. And then so if you have 2, challenge something in the 3rd inning, you get it wrong, you have 1. Challenge something again in the 5th inning, you get it right, you still have 1. Start the game off with 2, challenge 1 in the 3rd inning, you get it right, stay with 2. Challenge 1 in the 7th inning, you get it right, stay with 2. So you start with 2 and you retain them until you get one wrong. And then you lose one when you get one wrong, and then you lose one completely. And I believe the rule is for extra innings, it just carries over. If you had 1 left, then you have 1 in extra innings. If you have none, you have none in extra innings. So I believe that's the rule when it comes to extra innings for that. So again, I'm interested to see how ABS works. I am, but I think it's just another thing for managers to have to be weary of, and how's that going to be communicated with the bigger players? You know, obviously Justin Crawford is going to listen to Rob Thompson when he tells him to challenge something or not challenge something. But is Bryce Harper going to listen to Rob Thompson to challenge something in a big moment? Right? And how many times are we going to come on these shows and talk about how Bryce Harper has to be better than that and has to challenge better than that, has to understand what he's doing? How many times are we going to say this going forward? And no one's really talking about that part. So, well, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to add another level of drama to this. It really is. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. But Joe asked me, are the phone lines open? Yeah, let me get them open right now. Matter of fact, I think I already have them. Let's get the phone lines going. Yeah, I do. All right, so your phone lines are open right now. It should be popping into your windows. We talk World Baseball Classic, ABS, the strikes from last night. We talked about the Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, Eagles. I don't care. Whatever you want. Aiden Miller, another topic that's not been brought up much. Hasn't swung a bat entire spring training, dealing with a back issue. What does that do to his season and his potential, debut in Philadelphia? Does that push that back to 2027? It might. Dante Nore, who's in action here tonight. Kid was drafted in the first round of the 24 draft. Has rocketed up the minor leagues. Should start this season in AAA. Is he your right or left fielder of the future? I mean, did they move Marsh to right next year and put Nore in left? I mean, some good stuff coming out of this tournament, man. We would never know Dante Nore's name. Most of you wouldn't know who he is if it hadn't been for this tournament, right? But yeah, so whatever you guys want to talk about, yeah, the floor is now yours as the phone lines are open. And again, one last thing about Paul Skeens. I know that last night was the last meaningful baseball game he'll pitch until the next time he throws in the World Baseball Classic. I realize that, and he probably realizes that. And you know what? For the betterment of Paul Skeens and for the betterment of baseball, for the sport of baseball, Major League Baseball should mandate the Pittsburgh Pirates to trade him right now. Get rid of him right now. He needs to go on to a team that's going to be in the playoffs. He needs to go on to a team that cares about winning, that cares about challenging for a championship. They should be mandated currently, right now, trade Paul Skeens, because putting him in a situation like that, putting him in those types of game time moments, I mean, it's a real snapshot or sneak preview of how cool it'll be to watch him deal against Ohtani or Skubal or, pitchers like that in the playoffs. Paul Skeens needs to be on a competitor. He needs to be on a contender. That needs to happen right now. Major League Baseball should demand the Pittsburgh Pirates trade him today, because watching him pitch big game moments, man, and that, the one thing about his stuff that's amazing to me is that it gets faster the closer it gets to the catcher. His release, it picks up like the tail of his stuff just before it hits the catcher's glove. It like pops an extra like 5 miles an hour just as it crosses the plate. I mean, how do you teach that? I don't know how you teach that. It's like violating the laws of physics. But watching him deal 71 pitches in 4 innings, just a masterpiece, man. And he actually wasn't really, in my opinion, he wasn't on. I mean, he gave up the home run. He was dangling a lot of stuff up, but he's pure power. He's pure position and direction. It wasn't the greatest Paul Skeens, but if that's not the greatest Paul Skeens, and we've all seen what Paul's capable of, 2-time NL defending Cy Young Award champion, and when he's off his game, it's that good. It's truly something special, man. They should tell them to trade him. So, all right, let's go to the phones. Oh, Joe.
How are you? Yes,
Good.
I had to rock the Gritty shirt. Everybody, go support Gritty. I can tell you why. I know him personally.
You know the Gritty guy? You know the man behind the mask?
Yeah.
What's his name? Can you reveal that?
I can't. His name's Matt.
His first name is Matt. Okay.
Yeah. That's all I can say.
Has he been Gritty from the beginning?
No.
No. He's like the second Gritty or third Gritty? Second Gritty? Okay.
I want to talk World Baseball Classic.
Let's do it.
Somebody said how many you said that you can ask Rob Thompson. No, you can't.
No, I didn't say that. I the pitcher, the catcher, and the hitter are the only ones that can challenge. Yeah. But the manager's going to have some say in the when somebody's going to challenge something on their team.
Hell, that's all I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Hell.
Good. Well, it's probably going to be pre-gamed. Hey guys, listen for me to yell it from the. I mean, no one's going to stop the manager from yelling. He can say all he wants from the dugout. The player has to be one to initiate it, though. Rob Thompson can go challenge it, and then the player can challenge it. The umpire is not going to stop because the manager says it, but the manager can say whatever he wants. Anybody can say what they want from the dugout. It has to be, though, initiated by the player, the catcher, or the pitcher. But here's the thing. Do you honestly think Rob Thompson is going to have any say over what Bryce Harper is doing in terms of challenging?
No.
And that's going to hurt the Phillies at certain points of games, right?
Right.
Potentially. Right?
Right.
So, again, this is another layer of this ABS thing that people are probably not understanding yet at what this is going to add. But yes, no, the manager cannot ask for a challenge, but he can yell it. Hey, Harper, challenge that.
But here's my point: are they allowed to?
Allowed to
Because
what? Yell it?
yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
I heard you only have like less than like 10 seconds to challenge it.
It has to be instantly. Yes. Yeah. They can yell all they want. Right. There's each team is going to have a mechanism in place on how they're going to challenge. I don't know what that mechanism is. I'm sure Rob Thompson's not going to reveal what that mechanism is. But it's going to be interesting because I know Justin Crawford will listen to whatever the manager tells him to do, but Bryce Harper's not. Kyle Schwarber's not. JT's not. They're going to get in the heat of the moment. They're going to be like, I know that was a ball. I'm challenging it. That's our last challenge. I'm wrong. It was a strike. Oh, hell, it's the 5th inning, and now we got nothing left. So, and then here we go to play in the 9th inning. That could be challenged, but they can't challenge it because they don't have any more challenges left. That's the layer that I'm waiting to see how this really affects teams.
I also heard that in extra innings, it resets. You each get 2.
I'm gonna look up that. I read earlier when they were conceiving it that they weren't doing that, but let me look that up real quick. You might be right. MLB ABS extra innings. Let's see what they say. When they were first concocting ABS, they were saying they weren't going to do that, but they might have changed that. MLB teams start with 2 per game, keeping in session for. Oh yeah, they do. They get 1 additional challenge per inning. So here's the deal. So you enter into the extra inning frame. You can have all your 2 original challenges from the game. They disappear, and you get 1 per inning. Yep. Okay. Good job, Joe.
At least I was right on something.
Yeah. Well, it's bound to happen. What else?
Eagles. They freed up money by signing Dallas Goedert.
Mm-hmm.
They freed up salary cap. I don't think they're going to trade AJ Brown. Unless they get blown away with an offer.
I still think he's getting traded. The question's going to be when. Do they suck? I mean, you can look at this salary cap extra money as 1 or 2 ways. It gives them more money to go after free agents this year, or it gives them more money to absorb a salary cap hit from AJ Brown if they trade him before June 1st. And I think the draft will tell you a lot. If they don't trade him on draft day or draft days, if they go after a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, that's probably going to tell you a lot about what they're going to do.
If they don't,
with AJ Brown. What's that?
If they don't, they keep AJ Brown.
What if they don't go after a wide receiver in the draft?
Yep, because they haven't signed one in free agency either.
Yeah, no, they haven't. I don't know. I don't see a scenario that honestly is beneficial to both parties if AJ Brown's an Eagle. I don't. I'm sorry. I think we've hit that point, and it's the player doesn't want to be here. He's already said he doesn't want to be here. So I do not want to see another guy doing sit-ups in his driveway. I really want to get. I do not want to relive that.
This ATL in Morristown.
Yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to relive that. I don't want to see that again. I don't want to go through that again. If that's the case, he doesn't want to be here. Then give the man his wish, and let's move on for him because
here. I think he doesn't want to play with Jalen Hurts though.
I don't know if it's Jalen, if it's Sirianni, if it's both of them, if it's the fact that he's in a system where he knows, and this could lead back to Jalen because he's in a system where he knows he can't get stats. I'm sure it's a combination of all that. You got to give him his wish, man. And I'm telling you, the Buffalo Bills are foolish for not going all in on a AJ Brown trade.
Speaking of Buffalo, would you sign DeMar Hamlin?
No. I mean, no.
For a special team?
Oh, that's right. He's a free agent, right? You asking if the Eagles should sign him? Yeah, absolutely. I thought he's return to Buffalo. Yeah, no, absolutely. The Eagles should go after him.
No, he's a free agent. Darius Slade is signing a 1-day contract to be
retire as an Eagle.
Yep.
Yeah, good for him.
So Is it true? Is Clear the Ice gone? Or we're
No,
gonna
so
play?
we're on a week to week with Clear the Ice.
So
We'll be back.
if,
We'll do it this week. We'll do it this
if they
week.
get 2 points,
If they get no points this week, 0 out of 6,
never.
we will not return next week.
I
If they
think
get 1 or 6 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, we'll be back.
I think they go for 2-1 on this road trip.
And I think go 0 and 3.
I think they beat the Kings and the Ducks.
You do?
Yeah.
We'll see.
The
It's
Fly,
crunch time.
the Fly, and does the Boston Devils game help right now because it's going into OT?
Does it help the Flyers? Joe?
Yes.
Are you saying does it help the Flyers that they're going into overtime?
Yes.
Yeah, of course it does. And one of those teams is only going to get a point.
Okay, they're going into overtime.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, the Flyers have what, 5 teams ahead of them right now that they're trying to leapfrog over?
Which I think they can do.
No. They can do it if they win every single game they have left, which I'm not saying they can't do that. They should attack every game like it's a playoff game. They should really do that. They should leave everything out in the ice, but they have not shown that kind of consistency all season. So I don't know. We'll see. I fear that they're not going to make the playoffs, and we're going to find ourselves in a situation that it only hurts our draft position. And, we're back in this level of mediocrity again. No real way to get forward in the rebuild. We're just kind of stuck there in that 15, 16, 17 overall pick. It does nothing for me.
And goodbye, Rojas. He's suspended.
Yeah, became official. He is suspended for 80 games.
One more question. Thought about Garrett Stubbs playing left field.
I saw that. I think that's pretty. I don't know obviously the reasoning is both him and Marchand are out of options. So if one doesn't make the roster as a catcher, they can't get sent down. They got to get DFA'd and they got to go through waivers, and they may get claimed by somebody else. But I don't know why we're going to all these lengths to try to keep Garrett Stubbs around. I honestly don't understand that either. And it's amazing to me that they value him so much. I can't answer the question. I don't know. Can nobody else wear the beer case hat in the locker room? I mean, I don't get it.
Does he want to left outfield spot like an emergency outfielder, just like Cole Hamels did and Brett Myers?
Well, if he so they in a situation where he works out on the team or whatever, he makes so he's got to make the roster out of spring training in order for him to not be DFA'd. He's got to make in some position. He doesn't have to be a catcher. They can list him as an outfielder. They can list him as whatever, but he's got to make the team. And he would take a spot away from somebody else. But apparently they're exhausting all avenues to see if he could do that. I don't get it.
I think you take the spot away from De La Cruz.
Yeah, but listen, that's fine, but I wasn't high on De La Cruz making this team either. But De La Cruz is a different situation. He's a minor league contract. He can go to the minors, no problem. He's signed a minor league deal. So that's an easy, go to the minors. There's no DFA involved there. So I don't think De La Cruz makes this team. He's going to go right to the minors where he belongs under the contract that he has. So again, I don't understand the love of Garrett Stubbs. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I got you. And Phillies are on TV tomorrow.
Are they going to wear their green jerseys? We'd still do that?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the green hats.
It was green hat
last year.
Yeah.
Yes. Happy early St. Patty's Day to everybody watches.
That's right. Anything else, Joe, before we say goodbye?
Nope.
All right, Joe. Tomorrow night, we actually may not come on. I'm going to see the games at 7 tomorrow? 8? What time's the game?
10:00.
No. What game are you talking about? I'm talking about Team USA.
Oh, I was talking about the Flyers. What?
They don't play till Wednesday.
So, all right, you're taking a day and be back Wednesday. I like that.
No, I'm going to be on, but I may not be on at 9. I may wait to the end of the game. I don't know. We'll see.
We can talk post game.
We'll do a Team USA. We'll do a WBC post game show tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm
see where we're at.
Okay.
All right, Joe. We'll talk, man. All right, Joe Hale. What's going on, Bruce Harper? How you doing? Phone lines are open, by the way. If you guys want to jump in, talk about whatever you want. WBC is a definite top of the conversation here, especially the 2 pitches that somewhat altered or tainted a great game. But did they really taint? I broke down I broke down the strikes. I broke down in essence what those pitches were. Talked about it for a good 30 minutes. They were indeed strikes, both of them. So take that in your hat and stuff it. God damn it. All right, let's get back to the phone lines and also anything else that you want to talk about too. Hello, Michael Papernick. That was quick. Papernick fell off. All right. Well, come on back in, Papernick. Had you on, then I lost you. Had you on, but I lost you. Joel mentioned an interesting situation with Garrett Stubbs. Perplexing to me. More like, I guess, around the lines of the Grant Galcachera thing. I mean, what do you see in players like that? Again, I understand there's more to a player's worth at times than there is based on the field. I get that. A lot of players have made careers out of maybe not being the greatest player, but maybe they brought something else, a coach's eye or a scout's eye or something like that. And they've earned their keep in that aspect. I don't get the love affair of Garrett Stubbs by this baseball team. He gives you nothing offensively. I think he's a mediocre defensive catcher. He's a fast runner. I mean, he's quick on the bases, but this is not 1985. I don't need a pinch runner. I don't know. I don't understand the love affair, but they're trying him out. They're trying to find a spot for him on this roster. And I don't know if that's an indication how bad we are as a team right now, that we're trying to work out Garrett Stubbs. And we fear that we DFA him, he won't make it through waivers. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with taking the chance. So obviously what that's also telling me is that Rafael Marchand, like there was never really a question, in my opinion, that Marchand was going to be the backup here, but definitely tells me that they're trying anything and everything to get Stubbs a spot on this team. And again, I have to get plugged back into what's going on down there in Clearwater because I have totally tuned out over the last 2 weeks. I've been caught up in this WBC crap, which will be over tomorrow, either way, win, lose, or draw. So maybe I'll watch a game tomorrow, just to sort of kind of re-energize myself on the Phillies. But it's hard, man. It's like it's like what I went through in the Olympics, watching that run from the hockey team, and then I had to go back to watching Flyers hockey. It's just, how do you do that? How do I go back to watching literally the best hockey team in the world, to the Flyers? I don't know. It's been a hard transition back. It really has. I mean, I'm watching world-class athletes. I'm watching, Jack Hughes take sticks to the mouth, losing teeth, and scoring the game winner in overtime. I'm watching Connor Hellebuck make saves that I don't know how he's doing it, and then I got to go back to watching Sam Urson and Matthew Mitchkov. Just having a hard time with it, man. I'm having a hard time. And I'm having a hard time with this too, because I know it's over tomorrow. And then I got to get back settle into the Phillies, settle into the start of the Major League season, which is a good thing. But the timing should be better for me. Like tomorrow's game and future tournaments, WBC related, they should be like the day before the start of the Major League Baseball season. So now I got to sit down and watch about a week's worth of spring training games after watching this. So that the timing thing sucks for me. I don't really like it, but but I'll deal with it. So again, phone lines are open. If you guys want to jump in, Papernick was in and out. I don't know what's going on. His connection must not be that good. So let's continue on with the program. Let's get into our of the night segment. We haven't done that in a while. I want to fire that one up. So let's do some of the night. Then we'll do some card segments, and maybe we'll wrap this thing up. Or if anybody else wants to hop on. The phone lines are open. So let's do the of the night. All right, yeah, we're going to continue on with the MLB draft prospects. We broke the seal on it last week. We got through a couple of them. Let's continue on with it tonight. So we'll continue dipping our toes into this year's MLB draft and some of the prospects that are being touted. And let's continue on with Jacob Lombard, the shortstop from the Culver Prep, Florida, from Culver Prep High School in Florida. 18-year-old right-handed batter, 6'3", 185 pounds, is committed to Miami right now. But if you look at a lot of different boards, Perfect Game being one of the boards, actually, he is one of the top 3, if not top 1, depending on what board you're looking at, high school prospect in America. I don't know where that puts him in the draft, as a high school player, but obviously as a top 2 or 3 or 4 rated high school player in this country, it probably would put him somewhere in top 10 drafting position in this year's draft. A 6'3" premium athlete at a premium position. Lombard is a right-handed hitter who with plenty of juice in his bat. He has the acumen to be a plus hitter in the future, though he did have some swing and miss on fastballs up in the zone over the summer. With bat path wasn't matching the velocity he was facing. He's already added strength and speed of late with potential plus power. His main weakness might be that he's people pleaser and listen to too much advice on the showcase circuit. Yeah, that's never good. With most evaluators believing he'll just be fine once he lets his athleticism play. He's an easily plus runner who should be a threat to run at the next level. So Jacob Lombard, again, sounds like he's a very polished hitter for a high school senior. We talked about a kid the other night who's a contact hitter. This is a trend. You're going to see this, and I'm not just talking at the high school level this year. I've seen it at the lower high school levels, but now you're starting to see it kind of bear fruit at the upper high school levels into the college levels. We're talking more contact hitters right now. More contact hitters are being produced through the system, the youth system of America. We're getting away from the nonsense of exit velo and lift and acceleration and home run hitting. We're getting back into the age of actually knowing how to hit, contact hitting, using all fields, putting the ball in play, not swinging for the fence. And it's a beautiful thing. And it took too long for this to start bearing fruit. We let a whole generation of players go by the wayside. And I don't know how many careers were ruined. Is Scott Kinnerly's career ruined because of that launch angle nonsense, trying to turn everybody into a home run hitter? But we're getting back now into more hitting fundamentals. The mechanics of hitting are now a coachable topic at the high school level and at the lower levels than that, down there at the travel ball level. They're getting into that. So this is a good thing that we're starting to see players who have potential to be power hitters, but are not leaning on that. They're actually learning how to be hitters. And Jacob Lombard right now currently sits as about maybe the second, third, fourth highest ranked high school player in the country. And where that equates on the draft board come draft night could be top 10. So there you have it. There's our player of the night, shortstop Jacob Lombard from Culver City, Florida. Dave, what's up? It's going well, Dave. How about you? So, all right, let's continue on with our show. Let's continue on with our segments. Feeling pretty good about this now. I get to go into my final segment of the night, my favorite segment of the night. And you guys know what that is. Let's roll the tape. All right, yeah. I'm dealing with something right now. I got like a late winter, early spring cold. I've been sneezing all day. Nose is running. I hate this shit. Hate it. All right, MattyB's card review is back in town. We've been really negligent about doing this segment over the past few weeks between the traveling and the trying to catch up with shows. We really sort of missed the train. I think we did the Paul Skeens checkerboard card last week. That was the only one we did. Tonight, though, we're going to get it going in a fresh way. We're gonna get off right off the bat. We didn't do one last night, but we're going to do one tonight. And it's a 2025 Topps Chrome Update Series card. So it's from the granddaddy of the set. Every year you wait for the Chrome Update Series set to come out, which is the last set to be released every season. Now we are deep into Topps 2026 Series 1 right now, but this was a card from the final release of the 2025 Topps family of cards, and it's a parallel. It's a X refractor. It's from a player that doesn't necessarily have, I'm not going to say he doesn't have clout. He does, but he's waning in his years, and this is definitely not a rookie card. It's not. Let's just talk about it. Let's bring it up on the air. So this is the Topps 2025 Update Series Chrome X refractor Rafael Devers card. This is an actual really cool card from the Topps Update Series. Again, Devers, not the player that he was once, but so he was traded in season last year, and he's one of those players. And this is what's cool about baseball cards these days is that in the past, when I was a kid, if you got traded in season, you had to wait to the following season to see that player playing in that uniform. But nowadays, with all these different series that they release throughout the year, they usually get that player at some point in their new team, and this is his X refractor with the Giants. And first thing that stands out to me about this card, I'm digging those Giants uniforms. That's a homage to back in the day, to those '80s Giants uniforms where they wore the black shirts, had the SF on the chest there. It's kind of a homage to those. I miss those jerseys, man. They should make those their permanent road jerseys, dude. Those things are badass. I love. They're just amazing colors, man. It's a homage to their earlier days. It's a really cool card. Obviously, it's an X refractor, so it bounces. So he's kind of coming right off the card, and it's got that wavy digital pattern chromeness going on in the front. Pretty profitable card for a 2025 Rafael Devers. This card right now, currently, baseball card. As a PSA 9.5, $25, a 9, 12, an 8, 6. So pretty profitable card, a market for it, So if you're out there looking for a X-Fractor Rafael Devers, expect to pay about $35 for a PSA 10. But yeah, a really cool card. Again, I love Topps Update Series Chrome. I wait for it every year to come out. It's where you find most of the valuable cards from that season. And this is definitely one of them. So there you have it. It's our card of the night. The 2025 Topps Update Series Chrome Rafael Devers. And here it is in its physical form, the one I have right here. Bounces off the card there. I don't know if you can see. You can kind of see Rafael Devers sort of like popping off the card, right? That makes it an X refractor, a refractor. And there's the back. All right. There you go. All right. We got through it. Good to see the card segment come back. Good to see the of the night segment back. We're going to wrap it up. It's 2-2 right now, and we are in the, what is that, 7th inning? 2-2. Did they just tie it? We got a good game going here. All right, so I'm going to go, and I'm going to catch the end of this game. Tomorrow, we're going to have, and I mentioned the Joe Hale. I'm going to wait and see where we are with Team USA and whoever. Maybe we'll wait to the end of the game. Maybe we'll come back and do a watch party throughout the rest of the game. We'll figure something out, but just stay tuned for the time for tomorrow night. I kind of want to line it up as I want to watch this damn game too. So we'll sort of figure that out as we go. But listen, the end state about what happened last night against the Dominican Republic is this. Learn the rules of the game. And I'm talking to the players too, the Sotos and the Perdomos, who were so hot about what happened, about those pitches being low. They weren't. They were strikes. They hit the strike zone. It doesn't matter where they're caught. It matters where they pass through the strike zone. And they both passed through the strike zone. They got fooled by two really nasty pitches. And that's the end state, right? And also, if you're in a position like that, and for all you young baseball players out there, or you old baseball players, if you're ever in a position like that with runners on, or even with no runners on, but with two strikes, you got to protect. You got to get the bat off the shoulder. You got to fight off pitches. You got to work counts. You got to find your pitch. You just can't stand up there and not get the bat off your shoulder and expect an umpire to give you a call with that type of pitch. So, great game last night, sort of tainted by this nonsense, but I'm glad the umpire had the courage to make both of those calls. He was right on both of those calls. Would have ABS upheld those calls, those challenges? We'll never know. Oh, at least we won't know now. We'll see what happens in the future. But great game last night. Great game tonight, by the way. If you're not watching Italy and Venezuela, it's 2-2 right now. So we're gonna say goodnight. We're gonna sign off. Matty, go watch John Boy's recap of Perdomo and Soto strikeouts. Both were balls. I know you're an umpire, but facts are facts. Oh, so MP, here's the problem, man. You weren't here for this. I spent about 35 minutes at the top of the show breaking down why they were strikes. And I don't really want to go back through it again. So please, when we go off the air, watch the top of the show and you tell me what you think. But you're not going to tell me that they were balls. They weren't. By the definition of a strike, they were strikes. I don't care. John Boy, that guy's an idiot, by the way. That guy's a straight up idiot. So they were strikes. 100% they were strikes. That guy's looking to bash umpires at every turn of the road. But by the definition of a strike, they were strikes. So I'm not going to go back through the whole thing again because it was about a half hour long. But I will put this up here for you. Is that a strike or a ball? Tell me what you think that is right there. MP, I'm actually waiting for you to comment. Is that a strike or a ball? Based on what you're seeing right there. So I want to leave that up here. Is that a strike or a ball? By the definition, that's a strike. Okay, the ball is actually passing through the strike zone right about here. I don't know what this is, though. Is this like the tail of the ball? Or is this like the image of the ball going by? It's a strike. All right. We can argue it, but the bottom line, he says, but you don't see the plate in your pick. So you're telling me the ball was off the plate. So that's a good point. And I mentioned that at the top of this little rant, is that the best seat in the house was the guy that was behind the plate, right? But by all that I've seen from the front angle and the video, the ball goes across the plate. It touches the plate. And even on that angle, I mean, I know you don't see the front of the plate. And it's not the front of the plate. It's not the side of the plate. It's not the corner of the plate. It's got to hit the plate somewhere. That's all. And obviously, it's not where the ball is caught. It's where the ball passes by. Strike all day long. All day long. Listen, I'm not disputing your ability as well. I mean, and that's why balls and strikes are judgment calls, correct? I mean, and again, as I said, I can't sit here with 100% accuracy, tell you what it was, because I wasn't behind the catcher. I wasn't the one looking at the baseball. The only person, the person with the best view of that was the damn umpire. But by what I've seen through the videotape, through the pictures, is that those pitches, both of them, meet the criteria of strike. So, but you're right. The bottom line is, and I said this at the top of the show, the bottom line is that umpire had the best view of it, not me or you or anybody else. It was the guy that was standing right on top of it. But by everything I've seen, those were strikes. And I personally would have grabbed both of them in that game. Both of them. One, and again, as an umpire, you probably understand what I'm about to say here. You're in a situation at the end of the game. 3-2 on the one count. Was it 1-2 on the other count? One was in the 8th inning, one was in the 9th inning. The one in the 9th inning, the tying run was 90 feet away. You got to get the bat off your goddamn shoulder, kid. Fight it off, man. Protect. If you're going to leave the game in my hands, I'm taking it all the way. You're going down, and we're going home. I'm going back to the hotel. I'm not going to let that pitch go. Popped into the strike zone. See ya. Joe says Valenzuela's up 3-2. Yes, I saw. Now it's 4-2. It's on behind me. I saw 4-2. Oh, I saw 2-2. I didn't see any of the. I didn't see them go up. Are they up on Nola? Did Nola give up those runs? But both of us as umpires don't want to end the game. No, see, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And I know that that's another part of it. I didn't get into that part because it's hard for me to make people understand. And I know what you're talking about. Why did I end the game? I never go into a game with that feeling. I'm not ending the game. I'm officiating the game. The player on the field, they end the game. So no. Don't. And I get where the other culture of this is. I understand where you're going with that. But I think you're wrong. I didn't end the game. The players ended the game. I officiated the game. I mean, I'm not going to let, and I've never done this. I am not letting a close pitch go because, oh man, that's a close pitch, but this is such a high moment. I'm going to let, no, because that's wrong too. Strike, a ball, a ball. Get the bat off your shoulder and fight it off, or go back to the dugout so I can go home. I didn't end the game. The player ended the game. I officiated it. You're wrong about that. 100% wrong about that. I disagree. Lorenzen gave up the run. So they put Lorenzen in? I thought he was pitching tomorrow. Wow, man. They're getting desperate. I thought Michael Lorenzen was pitching tomorrow. Whew. But, all right, listen up. We are going to call it a day. I want to thank everybody for joining in and being part of the show. The WBC, and what was that? Was that a strike? Was it a ball? MP came in here and started clamoring about being umpires and not wanting to end the game on a close call. I disagree with that statement because I didn't end the game. We don't end the game. The players ended the game. I officiated it. A strike is a strike. A ball is a ball, no matter what the situation of the game is. Out is out. Safe is safe. I don't care if it's top of the ninth, bottom of the first. I don't really care. So I disagree with that philosophy, but I know what you're talking about. And I've been in that position before. Absolutely. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I was righteous every time. You're right. I know what you're talking about. All right. They don't know what you're talking about. And I didn't go through that because I didn't want to reveal that. That's a whole philosophical thing. And I didn't want to get into that. But that you mentioned it, I don't look at it that way. I've never looked at it that way. I'm on the field, a part of the game, but I don't end it. They do. They swing and miss. They hit. They get on base. They steal bases. They get called out. They make plays. They make throws. They make errors. They do it all. I'm just there to tell you yes, no, maybe so. So, and the John Boy thing, I can't stand that dude. Honestly, can't stand that dude. He bashes umpires left and right. He's got umpire derangement syndrome. Every time I have an opportunity to tell him he's wrong, I love to. You're not going to tell me that those pitches were not strikes. They were. By the definition of a strike, they were strikes. But yeah, but I get you. I'm definitely tracking on what you're saying, man. Of course, the ump ended the game. It wasn't a strike. You got to be 100% sure. He was 100% sure. He called it a strike. are you talking about? He called it a strike. The player ended the game by not swinging the bat or making contact with the ball. Come on, man. Come on. I don't have that much power in the game, man. I don't dictate what's happening on the field. I officiate what's happening on the field. The players dictate it. It's a glass half empty, half full approach here, I think. I don't think we're going to come to an agreement. So you're saying every called strike is correct? Come on, man. I go into every single game with that notion of making every call correct. Yes, absolutely. Do I get them correct? That's a different story. But I go with every single game by trying to get them all correct. Do I miss a few? Absolutely. These weren't missed. These were strikes by the definition of the word. And we broke down 3 different rule books of what a strike was. We talked about a strike in the NCAA rule book, a strike in OBR, and a strike in Federation. And all 3 of them said the same thing. And all 3 of them said nothing about where the ball is caught. Not even that mentioned in those rules. It's a strike, man. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's a strike. Yeah, I know. I'd watch his stuff all the time. Some of his stuff's funny. I love his lip reading. It's amazing. I love watching that. That's hilarious. But he is a umpire basher, man. And you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But all right, listen. Surprise, that's great, but it was a strike. And that gets me too. I love when that happens in a game, right? Where a play goes down. Usually I don't have that on balls and strikes. I usually have that at plays at the plate, or type tag plays or whatever. And you say, oh yeah, he got him. I got him with the tag. And then the defensive player will be like, I didn't get him. Well, yeah, you did, dude. I saw you get him. Players are not friggin' reliable sources either, man. It's a terrible job, man, that we do, honestly. So it's the only job on the field where nobody likes you. You have no friends other than your partner or partners, depending on what you're working with. Can you come on after we'll figure something out, Joe. We'll be on at some point tomorrow night. I blame the MLB for not having ABS used. Now, MP, you're late to the party tonight. I think you would have enjoyed tonight's show. We went over that. We went over the ins and outs of the ABS situation. And yes, and I would love to know what ABS, and I'm sure in New York, even though this is not a sanctioned MLB game, right? MLB is not the official governing body of the World Baseball Classic. They're a partner. They're not like the governing body. But I'm sure somebody in New York was in the MLB office was like, hey, let's throw this through the ABS simulator. Let's throw these 2 pitches through. And I'm sure somebody sees it or somebody has seen it. I would love to see it. I would love to see what ABS said about these pitches. And even with ABS, and again, I know where we're headed with this. And as I said, I'm not anti-ABS. I'm not. But we were talking earlier about how this is going to add another layer to this game of drama, both on the managers, plate of trying to, how are they going to control how their players challenge, right? Me and Joe Hale were talking about this. The manager can't initiate a challenge. Only the player or the batter, the pitcher, and the catcher, correct? Is there going to be some sort of mechanism in place for these players on how, when they can challenge? And are players like Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto, are they going to listen to those mechanisms? Are they going to listen to Rob Thompson and whatever his philosophy is about challenging and say, well, I only want you challenging whatever, and how much drama that's going to add, as well as the actual drama of looking at a pitch and saying, oh, that's a ball. And then they run it through the ABS. Oh, that's a strike. Now, it'll probably inform people more and educate them more on the nuances of the strike zone and the nuances of a pitch. The box is gone, thank God. That's a positive. But I'm interested to see how ABS is really going to change baseball in reference to like making people more students of the game, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. People are going to be looking at like, oh, that's a ball. And the guy's going to challenge it, whatever. And it's going to turn out to be a strike. And they're going to be like, oh, well, why was that a strike? It was, it was down. Well, yeah, but it clipped the bottom end of the zone. The whole aspect of the plate versus the spear, people are gonna be welcomed into the frustrations of my world of trying to find the perfect way to judge a 3D representation of a spear. And terms like the river are going to maybe be used by a lot of people. Are going to find out what the river is. This could be good. This could be good for baseball, or it could be bad. Could be bad. But we're going to wait and see. But I am for it. I am interested in it. I want to see how it's incorporated. And I want to see what it does to the game. I really do. At least for 1 year. If it totally screws it up, maybe we go back to the drawing board and only have it during the playoffs or something. I don't know. But I want to see what it does to the game. And I know a lot of pitchers out there, a lot of managers out there are against it. They don't want it. They don't want ABS. They just want it to be kept the way it is, human element. But we'll find out heading into the season. But yeah, MP, seriously, at the end of the show, go back and look at it or rewind it now if you're watching on YouTube. I broke it down, what I thought, how this thing went down. Yeah. At least you're honest about it. But yeah, go ahead and watch this show again. I went over it for about 30-minute rant about this and how upsetting it was that this game got ruined by that aspect of a ball or a strike. But all right, everybody, that is going to wrap it up. As far as tomorrow night, as I said, we're going to kind of play it by ear. We will be on, but we'll figure out how we do it, sort of navigate in between the championship game. But we will be on at some point tomorrow night, I promise. Yeah, please do. But yeah, we'll come back and we'll check out the championship game. Either after the championship game, during the championship game, we'll do a live watch or something. We'll figure something out for tomorrow night in reference to that. So, but until then, you guys have a great rest of your night. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Spirited conversation about what happened last night in the WBC quarterfinal matchup or semifinal matchup between U.S. and the Dominican Republic. Was it a strike? Was it a ball? I say it was a strike, and I give the umpire a lot of credit. MP, who is a former or is an umpire, said that you don't want to end the game that way. I don't end games. No, man, I officiate. Players end games. I make the calls, regardless if it's first inning or ninth inning, right? Or sixth inning, seventh inning, whatever the case is. I don't look at it that way. Close call or no close call. If I think it's a strike, it's a strike. And that's the end of the day about strikes and balls. They're judgment calls. 100% judgment calls. But all right, we will talk tomorrow. And until then, you guys have a great rest of your night. Hope I feel better tomorrow. It's coming down something. But you guys have a great rest of your night. We'll talk again tomorrow. I'm out of here.